Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout out to Tom Hawkins, Tina Baker, theflatearthchannel.com, Texas Mike, Skeptic936, Sam Hine, Sully Ballis, Rune, Reinhardt, Qatar Craig, Paige Love, Nyby, Michael, Matt, Life is Short, Kirsten Smith, Joshua, Jeronism, Godrockin, Fireball X, Felix Hung, Edwin Johnson, David Wayne Foster, Dank, Chow Young Cat, Burn Fat Till My Stomach Is As Flat As the Earth, Billy Highvolt, Alistair Mine, and Adrian Quintana. Thank you very much indeed to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now we are joined by, let's get it right, Sleeping Warrior, Righteous Force, I believe that's Paul, Quantum Eraser, Chocolate Saiyan, and Arwin in G+, along with Ranty in Skype. So welcome to you all.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Hey, hey.
Hey. We're also joined by a whole bunch of people on Discord, so welcome one and all. You can, as the audience, of course, enjoy the dulcet tones of everybody who's here as I set up for the next live show.
John, did you hear what I was saying about this?
Tony, I had a question. Did you say that they'd stopped teaching creationism in the UK?
At the end of the convention, a retired school teacher came up to me and he said, "Is this how they're going to get creation back into the education system?" And I said, "I didn't know it had gone." I said, "What's that all about?" He said, "It was removed in 2014." And I was like,
"Really?
Holy shit!"
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't know that. They don't teach it.
All right. So, what's the song? What's the song that they sing to the Queen?
I don't know.
What's the song that they sing?
Just tell me. I'm distracted, but I want to know. What do you mean?
God save the Queen. God save the Queen.
Right.
So it's all right to say God save the Queen and sing God save the Queen to our figurehead of the UK, but we're not allowed to believe in creationism or be taught creationism. But we can sing about God hailing the Queen.
I don't think
as
you
long
understand.
As you're acknowledging the royalty, you're okay.
Which God are they talking about?
Yeah, I don't think you understand the God they're referring to, because in that God, you take 0 and then you divide it and you end up with infinite. So that's their God. I think that's the God they're referring to when they sing to the Queen.
So anyway, John, the point I was saying is that David Attenborough is in the papers currently saying that how he's appalled that the creationists, and he says it in a dirty way, are trying to get creationism back into the national curriculum, right? Well, whether he accepts it or not, ultimately, creation is is one of the opposing views.
Whoa! No, you're way off. Creation versus evolution, number one, is a false dichotomy. Evolution, what's that? Doesn't exist. Even in quackademia, there is only creation.
Yeah, but you're missing the point.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You are.
You're missing the whole angle to the paper here. John.
Oh God, I don't want to hear 5 minutes of
paper.
Hold on.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm going to try and establish that. I don't need 5 minutes of you don't understand the point. Just tell him what the point is, and hopefully John will let it air, even if he disagrees.
Right. The point is, John, that under Section 406, it states that if there's the promotion of partisan political activities or views in the teaching of any subject in the school, they must be prohibited, right? And you can argue about what the promotion of partisan political means all day, but the point is, if it is promoted as partisan political, by Section 407, children must be offered a balanced presentation of opposing views. So it doesn't matter whether or not you think that evolution or creation are the right reasons. The point is that there are two opposing views, and they both need to be presented. You can't have
No,
one.
they're not. They're not. That's what I'm saying. I understand your paper. I read it. What I'm saying here is that creation versus anything is a false dichotomy, because even in quackademia, creation is the only argument. There is no other argument. Now, I understand what your paper's saying, but it's in the wrong genre when you're talking about creation versus something else. But I understand what you're saying. It's just the genre's wrong.
I don't know how you say it's the wrong genre when one of them is presented and the other one is not, and they are both opposing views.
Because there's only one. Let me say this one more time. I'm going to say it real slow. That's a false dichotomy. There is only creation.
John, creation is not taught as part of the syllabus.
I don't care. That's the only argument, even in quackademia.
Well, a
It's
sudden
just like
replacement's not really going to fare well. So
I've got to.
Why didn't you
I'm
just
sorry, I've got to
opening
pipe
up
up
the
again.
door?
Even though I'm really
That's
distracted,
Hey,
guys.
Biston.
Just one second. Right. Even though Anthony's point is that a false dichotomy isn't being taught in schools, John's not going to change his position in regards to the fact there is actually only one position. Now, Anthony's argument in this specific regard, which is not part of his paper and isn't part of his argument, it's just being juxtaposed, if that's the right word, with this argument with evolution and creation. And John, Quantum Eraser, will never change his stance in regards to how that argument is actually going to not evolve, that's the wrong word, take place. So that's not going to, this will go on forever. I'm just trying to draw a line under it by Anthony's point. I'll summarize. They're teaching a false view. They're not teaching any opposition to that false view. Therefore, 406 is being breached. That's his only point. Quantum Eraser's point is the opposing claim to be balanced opposing view in this instance is a ludicrous notion, because there's only one view, not only through academia but through quackademia. So it's a ludicrous position to say we should have an opposing balanced view with a nonsense position, and he'll never move from that position regardless of how it is perceived to the people your paper would be presented to in this hypothetical situation if it was about evolution, which it isn't. I thank you.
Thank you. Exactly.
What we're indirectly doing, John, is actually agreeing essentially on the bigger picture. We're disagreeing on the more narrowing picture, which is how it's being taught in schools, because they've got to teach both sides. Not teach both sides.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they have to, because otherwise it is indoctrination.
Did you just listen to what Nathan said?
Did you just listen to what I just said?
Yes, I did.
It's not about what is the truth. It's about presenting both sides regardless of the truth.
I know. I understand that. I
Good.
got that.
Good.
Okay, I'll just try one different way, Anthony. If you're saying you've got to present both sides, that phraseology implies that you've got a coin and that coin is balanced with a head on one side and a tail on the other. And what QE is trying to say is, no, what you're presenting is, on the one hand, a side of a coin, and on the other hand, a pile of elephant turds. They're not balanced in any way. One does not oppose the other. That's what he's saying.
I know, but what's missing is that the requirement is that you're not allowed to promote one-sided views, and if you do, you have to tell people that there is a balanced presentation of opposing views. But they don't have to be reasonable, they don't have to be close, they don't have to be correct, but they do need to be told that there are opposing views, and if they dismiss those views, that's their prerogative, because they've got the decision to make. They shouldn't be just spoon-fed one version of events, regardless of how true or not it is, by virtue of the opposing view. That's my point. So ultimately, I know John's going to scream at me now, but
no, I'm not.
I
agree with your paper, Anthony. You're missing. Oh my God. I'll tell you what. Change it from creation and evolution, Anthony. Change it to another fucking subject.
Okay. Bigoted views on religion.
Oh my God, you're just trying to poke him now, you bastard. Stop it.
All right. So Hitler and the Holocaust.
And
Fine.
Well, there are people that deny the Holocaust took place or didn't go down the way we were told, right?
That's fine. That's fine. There's no problem with that. I
So
understand what
it's
your
illegal.
argument is.
It's illegal in Germany and in numerous European countries to even deny or question whether or not the Holocaust happened. It's just rammed down your throat that it did. Now, I'm not saying that it did or it did not.
Okay. Oh my God.
What I'm saying is that you can't suppress the opposing views. You've got to say.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I know you get it, John. Just remember there's an audience, though.
I understand what he's trying to say about, allowing different views. I got that part. I totally agree with him. I don't know what the problem is here.
There isn't one.
You have the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
There isn't a problem. There isn't a problem. He just wants to reiterate his point as many times as humanly possible, and that's fine.
Yeah, because people like the Rumpus think that somehow the merits of the opposing views are important.
And then there are other assholes who think it's okay to go after somebody's job because they have a different view than you.
Which is that is like the antithesis of what the law is saying. Nowhere should it be the case that anybody feels justified to try and take a man's livelihood away from him because they think, in their opinion, he's wrong on the internet. I mean, let's be honest, right? We could all be wrong, but at least we're being honest with questioning it, right? But is it honest to censor the truth by removing a man's livelihood because you think, in your opinion, he's wrong? Is it fuck? It's got fuck all to do with you, George. Back the foot down and sit down.
We'll go live in a minute once I've sorted all these settings out. Let's try and cut the swearing down. I know I'm as guilty, if not more so, than anybody else, but hopefully I'll lead by example, you bunch of fuckers.
Flat Earth, Nathan.
You're the worst, Nathan.
Yeah.
Where's Miley?
She's not coming in today.
She's
We're not
just
having a
swinging
conversation
over here on a
about
pendulum.
Isn't George asking for somebody else license and stuff?
Yeah, he's trying to get Chris Van Matre. That'll be because Chris Van Matre is right over the target. Something's going on in Chris's world that George doesn't like, and he's right over the target, and George is having to shut him up. That's what, and he's got this moral perception of duty to try and shut Chris Van Matre up, and this is the point. This is not acceptable.
Anthony, what would you choose as opposing? Like, how do you choose as the opposing view of the thing that is mainstream right now? Let's say creationism was mainstream. You could choose like that we were programmed and we live in a simulation as an opposing view, right?
So if creationism was
how
the
would
mainstream
you choose which
view,
one?
and they were not allowing the possibility that evolution or whatever you just said was the
Oh
ultimate,
my God.
shut up. I would be saying that you can't do that because there has to be the balanced presentation of opposing views if it's contentious. That's what it says.
Creationism is the mainstream view.
I don't know why you say that.
View?
I don't understand how you come to that view, John. The mainstream view is evolution.
No, it's there. Oh my God, here we go again.
In school.
This is about what is being put out to the public, okay? Not about what is or what can be handled.
It's being what's put out to the children, not necessarily the public at large.
That's basically 99% of the people I talk to believe in evolution. So yeah, that's for me. That's the mainstream.
That's the problem.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
Religious belief. That's
Why do
the
you think
problem.
that
We're
is?
not
That's
dealing with
because
belief.
you talk to the wrong people.
Oh my
man.
God. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I talk
Just
to a lot of people, and from all different countries. Since the city I live in has a lot of immigration.
What does that have to do with
everybody I
evolution?
talk to, like almost everybody believes in evolution. There were people who believed in creationism, but those are so few.
Who cares?
Mexico,
It's a
we don't have
belief in
that
what's
problem.
evolution. Give me the scientific theory of evolution.
Talking about mainstream versus non-mainstream, and where's
Give
the
me the
scientific
scientific
theory of creationism, by the way?
Give me the scientific theory of evolution.
It's not what we are talking about. idiot.
Essay!
By which methods?
Give me
Essay!
first the scientific theory of creationism, please, or of we live in a simulation, or of we were created by fucking elephant
You see how he
farts.
dodges that, right? You're such a clown, sir. Give me the scientific theory of evolution.
Give me the definition of a scientific theory first.
Oh my God. Well, watch him. Here comes the evolutionary two-step. You're a clown.
Why are you asking me the scientific
hold
theory
on.
of evolution?
I want to
if
keep
it's
that going.
Not even the fucking
Sorry,
topic.
Zinder. Sorry, Zinder.
Are you retarded?
Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't mind. I don't mind defining that for you. So you're saying, tell me what you mean when you say scientific theory. So a theory that has been based on established causal relationships through experimentation. That would be a scientific theory. So do you have a theory regarding evolution that's based on actual empirical evidence and data, i.e. scientific evidence-based theory?
But that's not the only
causal.
way you can prove things, Nathan.
Again, sorry?
That's not the only way you can prove things.
That's not really relevant. As
Yeah, you
he's
can
asked
use
him.
many different scientific
Sure.
methods.
That's not the only way you can prove things. That's correct. However, the question on the table is, can you have scientific evidence of evolution presented here? Not any evidence that proves it, specifically scientific evidence. Know why? Why would that be the standard we ask for? Do you know?
Well, they did find some weird shaped skulls somewhere in a cave. You know?
He's talking to Zinder.
No, I was talking to the other guy
That
actually.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Do you know why we would ask for that standard? Need a yes or a no.
Essay. Hello.
I just ask it in full. Do you know why
Hey,
we would?
Cinder, they're talking to you, man.
No. I was talking to
You
you.
were the one who asked the
Right. I wasn't talking to Zinder. I was talking to you. Do you know why we would ask for scientific evidence of evolution? Or why QE would?
No.
Because it's empirical.
Because evolution is portrayed as a scientific theory. And you don't know why we're asking for scientific evidence? Are you friggin' kidding me? My word, people. Okay. Unbelievable. Did you live around power lines?
Just before this goes off into the weeds, I'm about to start a live show in a minute. The point is, there is no scientific evidence of evolution.
We can't even define the damn thing.
You don't have to argue with me, Nathan. I don't believe in evolution.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that's
different ways to prove things.
I wasn't trying to argue with you. I'm just saying. I'm just justifying why QE asked for scientific evidence, and you're like, that's not the only evidence out there. And I'm like, well, no, but that's not what he asked for. And I'm now justifying why it was so specific in terms of the type of evidence that we were, or QE was asking for.
And I agree with you, and now you can go back to Cinder.
Yeah, we will. I'm just going to start a live show.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, then there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now we are joined by Righteous Force, Sleeping Warrior, Paul, Quantum Eraser, Chocolate Saiyan, and Arwin. Very good to have you all.
Hey.
And we are also joined by...
Good morning.
Hello. A whole bunch of people on Discord, so welcome one and all.
Let's get back to the point. Zinder's point that...
Hello, Nathan.
Well,
It's so nice.
Oh, God.
I'm going to get the formalities out of the way. Hello. Good to have you all.
Are you done?
Thank you.
I don't know. Are we completely dispensing with housekeeping?
Lovely
I take
mood
it?
today, John.
No housekeeping?
I would like to say something first. Is there a
No,
way
you
to
wouldn't like to say
rejoin the
something
live
first. I
stream on
started
on
the
another
discussion. No, you don't. You
app?
said
Because
that
there are
99...
20 out of 70
Stop
people.
over
Let's start as we
talking
mean
on
to...
it,
Hold
and
on.
try to change.
Hold on. Start as we mean to go on. So who wants to go
Bring it.
first? QE or Zinder?
I started
I'd
it.
like to go first.
He said that...
Hold
Here he goes
on.
again.
No,
Hold
Shut
on.
up, Zinder.
Hold
It's
on.
more relevant.
Hold
the thing I
on.
have to say.
Hold on. You're just going to talk through
In
each
order
other
to
and
stay
nobody
here.
will hit Zinder. You're just going to end up with no one hearing either of you. QE did answer first. We're playing by playground rules. So QE gets to go first because he said yes first. Go on, QE.
I cannot
Like-
answer.
you
Oh
not
my
bet?
God.
I don't know how to change.
All you're doing.
Hey, Zinder.
Zinder, are you a fucking retard, bro? Shut the hell up.
Go on mute.
Fuck off! I cannot answer you if the question isn't gonna
No,
get
you
answered
can't-
by
you
Nate
shouldn't answer.
or by
him. You
any
should go on
moderator
mute.
on this Discord server.
No worries.
Did you guys even
No worries.
hear
He's
what he's
insisting.
asking?
No worries. Right, what I'll do, Zinder, what I'm going to do is let you go first, but ask politely that when you're finished, you don't rumpus the living crap out of any replies you get. How's that?
Yes, great. Thank you. So why I wanted to go first is because I wanted to ask if I can rejoin this server because I have to change it from one place to the other, and if I have to leave from here, I cannot rejoin it because there are 19 out of 17 people. That's all I have to say right
Let me
now.
get it straight.
Nothing
You,
to do with
you
the
rumpus the
argument.
point
Oh my
discussed in the
God.
pre-show for an administrative problem you may have if you leave. Shut up, Zinder.
Yes.
Go ahead, QE.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. This clown said 99% of people, and he brought in immigrants for whatever reason. I have no frigging idea. 99% of people believe in evolution. Okay? Now, number one, evolution doesn't exist. Number two, we don't care about what people believe or believe in. We're talking about empirical evidence. Okay? So get a clue and bring back at least some semblance of a coherent argument and stop rambling on. But absolutely nothing.
Isn't that what you do every day, John?
What?
You should know. You come here every day, don't you?
What? What's your problem?
Do housekeeping. We've actually got talkative globe heads for a change. Any signs of Earth curvature? Talky globe heads.
Not at all.
Only yesterday we were told about how chatty they all become once we leave. I get it. You're all here. You believe
They
Earth's a
do,
sphere?
Nathan. Like as soon as you guys leave, they start talking nonstop.
Right, like cockroaches coming out when it's dark. Yeah, makes sense.
No, it's been ages since anybody's presented any evidence of Earth curve. Yeah, we talk about gravity quite a lot. Recently, we've talked about Coriolis, which is technically new in at number 2. You know what I mean? It's not like we often get any examples since early debates when we talked about the Isle of Man. When we figured out that it's a begging the question fallacy, they stopped presenting any evidence of Earth curve anymore. It's like, shouldn't Earth curve?
Especially when Mick West admitted that he assumed that R was just there when he did his calculations. That was devastating.
Well, not since we laid their little begging the question perspective hijacking calculator to rest. Because they're not going to bring that crap in here anymore.
I think I figured out where the disconnect on the Coriolis effect argument is from their side. When Zanick is arguing, he's arguing from how you see Coriolis effect, and I think your argument, Nathan, is that how Coriolis effect is created, right?
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely correct.
Zanick's argument's not from Zanick.
Yeah, well, that's the problem of the argument. I think since yesterday I spent like an hour and a half with them, they're talking about how you see Coriolis effect, and we are talking about how Coriolis effect is created, and they don't get that. They don't understand that.
What they've done is, by saying how you see it, and only how you see it, it gives them an opportunity to only describe what happens from a presupposed spinning Earth. Then it doesn't matter if they have a non-effect that they're supposed to have to prove it spins, or an effect they're claiming prove it spins, like a pendulum or a gyro. It doesn't matter, so long as they start the argument here in the trenches from, well, we are on, observing, if you will, we are on, to watch the example, if you will, a non-inertial spinning reference frame. In other words, they automatically beg the question that you're on the spinning ball Earth and don't ever deviate like that. So therefore, it doesn't matter how the argument goes, at the end, the entire argument is taking place with them making you beg the question of a spinning ball Earth that this argument will take place on. They see that as a win, even if they lose, because they're forcing their opponent to beg the question. As soon as you beg the question, oh, so we're on a non-inertial spinning reference frame, are we? You're automatically conceding that Earth turns. Well, they're chuckling away all the way to the bank while they lie about what reference frame is what, and us never seeing any inertial reference frames. Well, that's just an obfuscation tactic, because they don't have the actual deviation needed to be there if Earth rotates underneath that which must not be spoken about. That inertial reference frame that planes and bullets and balls and helicopters and drones and gyros and pendulums are all in. But they can't talk about that reference frame because it undoes the argument, because planes would be having their shortened flights, and they don't. Gyros would be drifting away from you when you push the up stick, and they don't. Helicopters would never be able to hover. They'd violate the first law of thermodynamics as they increased in altitude. All of these things undo their argument. So instead, they've got a crappy little technique of forcing you to beg the question by always referring to what you see, and what you see is taking place, according to them, in a non-inertial spinning reference frame, which is the begged question of a spinning ball Earth. I thank you.
Funniest thing is, though, with Baltards, what happens first? Is the Coriolis effect created, or is it seen? Freaking idiots.
That dude on Discord got that perfect. Exactly. We're talking about the causes of the Coriolis effect. To have a Coriolis effect, first thing you have is a ball Earth that's spinning. Their argument now starts with, we're on a non-inertial spinning reference frame. In other words, they start from the position of we're spinning in this argument. And the guy in Discord's absolutely correct. No, we're not going to argue about Coriolis effect. We're going to argue about what you claim causes it. Earth rotating underneath the inertial frame of a gyro, of a pendulum, of a ball, as Neil deGrasse Tyson asserts, travels through the air when kicked, and the Earth rotates underneath, moving the goalpost and causing the ball to go through the goal and score the field goal. Well, that's, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, an example of an inertial frame that the ball travelled through, and you, watching it from the stand, seeing it seem to deviate because Earth rotates underneath. The cause of all those effects, which is where they want to start with the effect that is claimed to take place on a non-inertial spinning reference frame, i.e. I'm going to beg the question, Earth is spinning with this example from here on in. Well, to cause that effect that they're then begging the question of a spinning ball Earth, you'd need the ball to travel straight. You'd need the helicopter to hover with Earth rotating underneath. You'd need a shortened duration from Charlotte, North Carolina to LA from 4.5 hours down to an hour and a half because Earth's rotating underneath. Let's not worry about apparent deflection we observe from the ground when we're talking about a plane, because the guy in the cockpit's not worried about what you're observing from the ground, and that is Coriolis deviation. He's worried about nothing because Earth isn't rotating underneath him and not creating any deviation for you to see anyway. So it's all nonsense to double speak around the fact that we don't observe any Coriolis deviation on Earth. Nothing is deviating, and the deviation is what they claim proves Earth spins. So just beg the question, just always assert whenever you get into an argument about Coriolis, if you're a globehead, just assert that you're on a non-inertial reference frame for every single part of every single argument, because they won't spot it. They won't spot you begging the question. Yeah, we've spotted it. Yeah, we rumbled that 3 days ago. Didn't we now, fundies? That's never going to get passed ever again. Yeah, we don't like begging the question here, and asserting that Coriolis effect is what we're going to be arguing about, starting from a position of we're only going to observe this from a non-inertial spinning Earth. Yeah, sod that for a game of soldiers. That's not going to fly.
Fundies, apparently Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't think that everything is in the same non-inertial reference frame, right? He says the Earth is spinning underneath a football. Does that sound like everything is in the same frame of reference, guys?
Yeah, that's correct, Chocolate. The trajectory of the ball would be a straight line to all intents and purposes. That's its frame of reference, a straight line. Not an inertial turning reference, as Zanick seems to say everything's taking place in, because he refuses to stop being a voyeur and must watch everything that takes place, when we're just simply trying to describe something's trajectory, and he seems to only be capable of describing watching a trajectory. Interesting, these fundies don't understand what a trajectory and a reference frame and Coriolis is. They're all dumb. That's the bottom line here. We're dealing with thickos. They don't even understand what they're supposed to have. You're supposed to have deviation to prove Earth spins, fundies. But yeah, we'll argue all day long from a position of begging the question, asserting we are always going to watch this. Yeah, no, we're not. We can talk about the trajectory something takes. And when it takes that trajectory in a second inertial reference frame, you'd have a situation where flights would be reduced in their times, and that doesn't happen, debunking the notion that Earth's spinning underneath. End of argument. One thing I did notice, it slipped almost undetected while you were talking to... I wish the letters were bigger on my screen. They're not. Anyway, the chap that was speaking on Discord spoke about Zanick, and you said they're not Zanick's arguments, QE. That went unchecked. What on earth are you talking about?
He seems to be having other people's arguments, but we'll wait till Zanick comes in. I won't poison the well right here, right now. Let's just wait until Zanick comes in, and he's going to be questioned.
Is it a secret?
Well, Zanick has been indoctrinating kosher and some other people. So that's sad.
Zanick can't
If the non-inertial reference frame and the inertial reference frame are two different things, why do they have different... I mean, if they're both the same thing, why do they have different terms that describe them? You know, if they're one and the same thing, why do they have different terms?
Like when these morons say that science is math and math is science, and it's like, oh, guys, if it was the same thing, they wouldn't have a different word for it, right? Science is science and math is math. Okay, they wouldn't have terms with non-inertial reference frame and inertial if everything was in the same damn frame. Get out of the freaking gutter with your freaking brains,
a lot of
man.
words to communicate the same thing. Sorry.
Hey, Chocolate, are they going to have fight nights tonight?
Pretty sure they are. They usually do. I haven't heard anything different.
If they do, people listening out there, you heard Zanick get his ass handed to him a couple days this week, right? And you know the arguments that he got pummeled by. I want you to listen to Fight Nights tonight when Zanick will go on there and repeat the same pummeled arguments again. I want you to go and listen because it's going to happen. He does it every week. This guy is a pretender clown on steroids.
The only reason why somebody would do that is because they're being paid to. If you knew that you were wrong and you were demonstrated to be wrong, you wouldn't bring that point up again, unless you had to.
He started this before 3 days ago. I think it was episode 951. Did you go listen to that, John? Like he tried this nonsense already, and we called him out there. And then he gave it a break for like a day or two, and then he came back with it. Yeah, I told you, go listen to 951.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm not talking about that specific example. I'm talking about in general. Zanick's been pummeled here for months, right? But he uses those same pummeled arguments over and over again. He's even admitted
Fight Night because they have trolls on there.
He's even admitted. Remember, gravity is not a force; it causes a force. Remember when we pummeled that? He even admitted that he couldn't provide any citation. Right? What did he do? The next, it was either the next day or the day after. Go on that show and repeat the same thing again, like it wasn't pummeled. That's what I'm talking about.
Why would somebody do such a thing when they know that they've been battered?
Their objective isn't being right, it's convincing whoever's listening that they're right. So the fact that it's been pummeled in one place and one audience has heard the incorrect assertion doesn't mean another audience can't hear the same exact thing and he can get the perceived win. His objective isn't to be correct, so pointing out where his argument's flawed is inconsequential to him and all the other fundies.
And he doesn't have any intellectual honesty. That's why I call him Milli Vanilli and sing the song Blame It on the Rain.
I have no idea what the reference to Milli Vanilli is. What the hell are you talking about? I know Milli Vanilli
Milli Vanilli was a group or like two guys who got caught lip syncing their music. So they got caught out straight up lying to people. People thought they were singing and they weren't. So yeah, that's where he gets that from.
I see.
Do you see the connection now? How ironic, huh, Nathan? Do you get it now?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no space in Discord though. I don't know if anybody who's a mod in Discord can boot some of the quiet people, just so there might be a space for Zanick to join.
I can move them to the after show so we can get more people if you want me to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I didn't say yeah, but go on anyway.
Now, what do you say, Nathan?
Well, we're still live. It'd be nice. We've only been live for 20 minutes. It'd be nice to retain some sort of element.
Nathan, I'm willing to drop, mate. So Zanick can join. So I'll catch you guys another time. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
I couldn't hear you, Nathan. I asked Nathan a question, and 25 people spoke up.
Okay, a dude just offered to leave so that there's a space if Zanick does want to join.
No, Zanick lets me know when he wants to go in, and I move him up.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No fuss then. You've got it covered, righteous. As
Nathan,
always.
Would you ask if he does join, why does he bring up previously debunked arguments when he knows that they're debunked? Does he not know that they're debunked, or is he doing it for some other reason? Because why I wouldn't bring up something that I'd realised was wrong. I'd have to apologise and say, shit, look at, do I ever bring up full court when I did that wrong video? No. Why? Because it was wrong. So why would Zanick do it? I want to know why.
Because he's a clown, and when clowns perform bad, they just forget about it and try again next day.
Because it's like making the rounds, right? Because I go on 24/7 Discord, and I'll be there, and Zanick will show up, and he'll bring this crap up. After we've destroyed it here, somewhere else, he'll bring it up again. The same ridiculous argument. So yeah, it's like they have to do a tour.
Why would
of getting
do
destroyed
that if they know that point's been destroyed?
I told you, because he lacks intellectual integrity. I already said that. Now, hold on, everyone, be calm. I'm going to ask this question again to Nathan. Nathan, do you want me to move the people into the after show or not?
Nah, leave them where they are till the after show, just for now. Just so, while it's live, it's just good to retain at least some element of control so the show's reasonably smooth. The shouting can remain in the after show for now.
Thank you. Now everyone can jump in. Go on.
What's to say? Why would anybody bring up a previously asserted position that's been ripped apart? Does he deny that it's been ripped apart? Or is it because he has to? Because in some way he's being fed in some way, financially reasons, or he feels obligated by his religion? Is it some kind of crusade? Why would you do that?
Because he lacks intellectual integrity. He's Milli Vanilli.
No, but he could be being forced to do it for some reason.
Why do you want to divine his motives to the point of funding?
Well, it could be religion based.
It is religion based, absolutely, without question.
It's damage control, man. That's how I see it. It's damage control. Your argument got destroyed here. You got to bring it somewhere else, and maybe over there, maybe you'll catch somebody and make it look okay and decent. You know, for a few minutes, for like 2 minutes, you made your argument look okay because the person you tried to argue couldn't destroy your argument. But I mean, that's the only thing that I could think of, because then you bring that crap back here and it gets, flushed down the toilet again. So go ahead, keep doing it. Fine by me.
I can't remember if QE said this on this show or the last show, but it's fundamentalist religious zealotry.
Yep, and it's dug in like an Alabama tick. So what you got to do to them, you got to get 10 people, you got to get around them, you got to have an intervention, and you hold them down, and you get a spoon, and you got to dig that shit out.
Come on, Zanick, show yourself. Let's hear what your explanation is. Why do you keep bringing up a point that you've been destroyed on that much that it becomes boring? I walked the dog yesterday, came back, and they were still talking about it. Man, Zanick.
They can't have they can't give it up. I mean,
Well,
how would they look
right,
if they just said, huh?
Go on.
I mean, how would they look if they just stopped arguing this argument, making this argument, and just said, all right, well, we're not going to even talk about it? Then they would look like they have to take the L. They have to take the loss. And they can't do that because they got to save face. Because they got to step up and defend their wonderful, magical spinning ball in a freaking vacuum. That's what it is.
Anybody else that could perhaps do it on his behalf?
Hold on, Anthony. Third time's a charm. Chap in Discord. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Righteous Force thought that they were right on Coriolis effect, if I'm not mistaken. Right.
That's not what he's.
This could be awkward.
Oh, he say I agree. Like a couple of days ago when we were arguing after the show ended.
That's wonderful. Can they demonstrate it?
Well, to be honest, I don't know what he meant when he say I agree with them. They are right. So
yeah, it would probably be beneficial to the discussion if you got within 3 degrees of complete ambiguity.
Anthony, go ahead.
Is there anybody else on the baller side that could perhaps argue this for Zanick? Because obviously Zanick's not going to want to come in back in today because he knows that he's going to get roasted. But if there's anybody else that does believe that Coriolis proves something, please join, explain your reasoning, and let's watch it get destroyed. So perhaps the Rumpus, you're in chat. Let's hear you explain this one away. I'd quite like listening to Rumpus get decimated.
Mr. Air is not the atmosphere. You ain't going to listen to anything. All you're going to listen to is him rumpusing. That's all you can do. Hey, Rumpus. Hey, hold on a second. Hey, Rumpus, are you listening to me? This is QE. You remember that debate that you and I had back in 2016? I had just come into the Flat Earth argument, and it was on Sensei's show, which all those videos were deleted. But you know what, you clown? Somebody was smart enough to download that. And that debate is going to go up on my channel. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run banners for frigging months right? Advertising that debate between me and you. And we're going to get about 1,000 people watching me rip your nonsense to shreds as I was green around the gills and still smashed you, right? I can't wait. And I hope you're there, you friggin' crayon munching clown. Thanks.
We do have the monkey here. So we've got Zanick's monkey Kosho. Do you want to flex your muscles, Kosho? See how well your training's gone?
Come on, Kosho. What's the evidence?
Oh, Kosho, maybe you brought a better citation this time? Revision maybe or something? Maybe? I don't know. Because apparently you guys have fallen apart since you provided your last citation, right? So let's step it up, guys. Show what you got.
He's been told by Zanick not to show that citation again.
Really?
Yeah, you bet he has.
That's adorable.
Weren't you telling me this morning that he's been trying to write his own citations for Coriolis effect?
No,
oh my
he said he's
god.
gonna
Who was it that told me that this morning? I'm sure he's still here.
Yeah, he said that he was gonna he would rewrite it in this way, so it'll show that the Coriolis.
You've cut off halfway through. That's annoying. You can see show 966 in the pre-show. We had a discussion about exactly this. So Zanick rewriting it, saying this definition isn't correct. It should be like this. It's like, oh, great. That's how it works. That's the static method right there.
Yeah, that's how you do
Socratic.
citations, right? I was in Discord talking to a baller not that long ago, and I just plainly asked him for a citation for one of the claims that he made. And you know what he did?
Right,
This dumbass baller went ahead and printed what he just told me, his words, and said, there it is.
He literally typed out his own quote as the citation. There you go. I just said it 2 minutes ago. It's put on record, right? By me.
That's kind of Monty Python level response.
Yeah, it's a total joke. That's how these people think it works. I don't like this citation. Rumpus is doing similar things at the moment. These astrophysicists don't know what they're talking about. I must have a word with them about them saying gravity's not a force. This doesn't help our argument. They need to rewrite this fundamental part of pseudo-Ramonian force space. How dare they?
Yeah, that was. Let me cite that. That was in Al Kay's hangout where he had Professor Dave and a few others, and he said we need to start getting these, or we need to stop getting these physicists saying that gravity is not a force. The problem is, Rumpus, since you've said that, there's documents and articles everywhere that's very recent now saying gravity is not a force. It's almost as if they've heard you and deliberately decided to piss up your face because they all know that you're wrong. It's funny that it benefits us massively when they do.
That's an entire Ballbusters episode.
It is.
It's not really a massive achievement. Rumpus is always wrong. I mean, 100% of what he says is wrong.
That's right. And he says he is always right and everybody else is always wrong. So that makes
he doesn't just
sense.
say Arwen. He doesn't just say he's always
It's almost
right.
like the two-faced door at the labyrinth. One of them is always wrong.
Arwen, he doesn't say that he's right all the time. He says he's 100% right 100% of the time. Get it right.
That's that.
Mr. Air is not the atmosphere. I got a complete clown file on file with him. It runs. I think Yahoo might shut my file down because it's so big. I need to do something with that. Maybe down the line.
I need to ask a question about Rumpus and his air is not the atmosphere quote. Is that more dumb, equal dumbness, or less dumb than Brenda when she said a shoe is a phenomena?
Ooh, that's oh man.
No, that's Brenda wins that one, I'm afraid.
Oh damn.
Don't you think? It doesn't matter that quantitatively it's more stupid for Rumpus to say such an idiotic remark. But just general, as if you just wrote down both statements, forget who said them, then Brenda wins, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, actually. They're both as bad as each other, really. Hey, Rumpus, is the Earth... Why can't science prove that the Earth's turning, Rumpus, but everybody believes it? Oh, and why is it that you can't join anymore, Rumpus? Is it because the ballers have told you that you make a bad representing argument for their side of this? You're not allowed to join anymore, Rumpus. Your handlers are telling you that you can't join. You're being censored. And I love it.
Censored by his own side? Wow, that's interesting.
Because they said that he gives bad reflections of their arguments at times, and they don't like it.
What, Mr. Air is not the atmosphere gives bad examples? Nah, never.
That's what they say. Ah, Rumpus.
I was walking along the other day, and as I was walking, I seemed to feel myself experiencing apparent deflection. I was just walking, like.
Did you deflect the incoming vehicle accidentally and had to dive out the way because Coriolis nearly took over your life?
That's a Coriolis fallacy.
It was a Coriolis fallacy, I'm sorry. God, I'm under the weather.
Under the weather? Do you mean literally?
No.
Relative density, right?
I have a question. Guys. Do you guys... It's night over there where you guys are, right? Sleeping and Nathan?
No. 2 p.m. Well, 4.
Oh, it's 2 p.m. Oh, okay. Well, this is the third day that I see the sun and the moon in the same, like, they're really close to each other here where I am. And I keep asking, like, do they don't have moon on the other side when this is happening for them? Or what is the deal with this?
Well, the moon is kind of growing dark again. It has been full moon, is it half a week ago or something? Maybe a little more. So you're on the southern presupposed hemisphere, I take it?
I'm in Michigan right now.
Really?
Yeah, that's southern hemisphere.
No, that's not. Okay, let me check.
You don't need to check. It's not southern presupposed.
No,
hemisphere.
I know. No, just the moon cycle where it is right now. I don't see the moon currently.
It's just going to be seeing the same thing we did about 6 hours ago.
And just to piss off all the flat Earth trolls that hate me, I spent the moonrise watching the harvest moon rising over the horizon on the balcony with all the flat earthers in the conference, and we were all drinking beer, watching it rise, and we were all like, "We don't know what you are, but we know what you're not, and it's fucking cool." It was brilliant.
That's dope.
What a lovely story.
True as well.
Ballers. You essays.
Come on, Zanick. Come and tell us why you keep bringing up old arguments that you've been battered on. What's the reason for it?
65.
No laughing virus today either, Mr. I'm just gonna laugh. I don't have any arguments for you guys. I'm just gonna sit here and laugh.
That's the
I have
blind
nothing.
sniper.
Yep. I have nothing.
All right, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
So Silent accused me of something. So what is that I'm being accused of?
Who's that?
I accuse you that you said the other day that you agree with Zanick about Coriolis effect when we're talking about Coriolis effect. And you say
What aspect?
Silent. By
What
the
aspect?
way, you say Silent. By the way, they are right. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess.
In regards
So
to what aspect?
I didn't know. Go ahead.
Huh.
He doesn't know
In
the
regards
answer.
to what aspect?
He doesn't know the answer to that, unfortunately, Righteous Force. He doesn't know the
Oh,
context.
so you're just trying to make me look bad or something.
We
then,
were
eh?
arguing on the Coriolis effect, and then you say, by the way, they are right. So I assumed you were talking about the Coriolis effect argument.
There
And
you
if
go.
I'm not, I
That's all the that's all the context you need right there. You were talking about Coriolis effect, and you said they were right. So what do you need?
Yeah. Well, I can't get out of this one then, eh?
Yeah, so ask him again, Righteous. Ask him real slowly this time. What's your next question?
I'm not gonna ask him. I gotta eat something.
We've already gone through it though. The next question would have been what aspect of the Coriolis effect was being agreed upon by me if I was Righteous Force, but he's more busy eating.
Yeah. Anyways, is Tinder supposed to be on mute?
No, I'm unmuted now. I was unmuted all the time before, but I think it is when you rejoin the server. Probably you.
Okay, I was just making sure you weren't muted. Okay, bye.
I was muted by a person, or
No, just when you first join, if it's on the live show, to stop audio chaos when we're live, I just have people automatically muted when they join. You have to be unmuted by a mod or me.
Yeah, that's great. I've been unmuted by you, right, Righteous?
I didn't. Yeah, Righteous did, I think.
Great. I came here to argue about the shoe being a phenomena, and a shoe is a phenomena, and everybody who disagrees is an idiot.
I want to hear it. Don't laugh, don't laugh. Right, go on, go ahead.
Alright, like here I have the definition of a phenomena by Cambridge Dictionary. Something that exists and can be seen, felt, tasted, etc. Isn't a shoe going under these categories?
You forgot the first part of it. It's natural phenomena observed. Clown.
You said phenomena. You didn't say natural phenomena, so you are an idiot. QE.
No, we never say natural phenomenon. Never say that. We never say it. I haven't heard any of us say that before.
God.
You friggin'
before
retard.
you were ridiculing her for saying a shoe is a phenomena, and the shoe is a phenomena, so
can we have
she's
the definition
right,
of
and you are an
phenomena?
idiot.
A shoe is a natural observed phenomenon.
Hold on.
No, it is a phenomena.
No, let's Zinda contextualize it.
Phenomenon in the context of science, Zinda.
Oh, in the context of science, so please give me the definition of a phenomenon in context of science first.
Well, you're the one defending the position, so pick
Let me
one
just
for
summarize
yourself.
it. Let me just do it quick. An effect. An effect.
Go on.
An effect. An effect.
Yeah, a phenomena is something that exists.
No, an effect. Yeah, say it. Right, let's get close. They get deaf. They get deaf at these points, and then rumpusing starts because I've said something that's absolutely crapped all over what he said. He doesn't want to hear it, so rumpusing will ensue, or I have to say it 16 times without any response. So I'll say it nice and slow for you, Zinda. An effect.
Yes. An effect goes under the category of a phenomenon.
A shoe, maybe? Maybe a shoe is an effect. The effect of shoe. Maybe? Maybe?
No,
or maybe not.
Not the shoe.
No, not to shoe.
Attracting woman.
No, that's right. Not to shoe. That's why we take the piss out of her.
No, a shoe is a phenomena.
Oh, really? A shoe is a happening. It's an effect, is it? Because that's what we're talking about here.
Wow.
Yeah?
Both are phenomena.
No,
No,
a
they're not.
shoe is not an effect.
Read the definition again, Zinda.
An effect is a phenomena.
Yeah, right. A shoe is not an effect, though, is it?
It's an animal. Both are animals. That doesn't mean that a donkey is a pig. Do you understand?
Oh my god.
Scribblers.
This idiot.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to remind
shoe
everyone that
is a phenomena. An effect
I
is
can
a
hear it in his
phenomena.
voice. He knows this is
Doesn't
farcical.
mean the shoe is an effect.
Right, you know this is farcical, Zinda. I can hear it in your tone. You know this is just you trolling. I know this is just you trolling. That little quiver in your voice gave the game away.
So don't you agree that a shoe is a phenomena, an effect is a phenomena, a shoe doesn't have to be an effect, because it doesn't mean that only because an effect is a phenomena doesn't mean that all
but then
phenomena
when we're talking
are
about
effects.
a scientific experiment, you really think that a shoe is a naturally observed phenomenon?
No, a shoe isn't a naturally observed phenomena.
Okay then.
Okay, that's our point. Thank you.
Thank you. That's pretty much the end of that then. So that's why we take the piss out of her, because she would assert that it is.
I'll have to say this is a good definition of terms. You define the terms very well. Natural occurring phenomena.
But that's what science is exclusively interested in. That's all they're interested in.
Well, no, but I think Xander's going after any phenomenon, but you're very specific on what we're after.
Quantum erasure
Not just any phenomenon, a specific phenomenon.
Well, maybe shoes do have a
eraser?
specific type of gravity to them.
I don't think there's a distinction between a general phenomena and a scientific phenomena. Can we have the definition again for the 5th time for what is a phenomena according to Zinder? Read it.
All right, something that exists and can be seen, felt, tasted, etc. Especially something unusual or interesting. Gravity is a natural phenomena under its definition of Cambridge Dictionary. It just was an example. Do you believe in the paranormal and other physical phenomena, etc., etc.?
Nathan, can you please share my screen in the middle of this discussion? Thank you.
Sure.
Quantum entanglement presentation.
Go ahead. You can continue this discussion. Just leave this up in the background. Thanks.
No, so that's true. It's a phenomena.
I like
You
the way
didn't
I was
specify what kind of phenomena it is. So it is a phenomena.
Wait a minute, though.
You know, words have meaning, quantum eraser. Words have precise meaning.
Well, can I say something? Exactly, Zender. But they've been very clear on what they're wanting: a naturally naturally occurring phenomenon, not a man-made so-called phenomenon like a shoe. So even within that framework, they've been very precise what we're looking for. A shoe doesn't fall into that category.
Great.
It may fall into your definition of that category, but it's not what they're looking for. So the definition is very clear if you're willing to listen. You're trying to obfuscate what they're saying.
Or if you are saying if you apply context to it, definition becomes clear.
Yeah, science.
Yeah, well,
Great.
The context was when Brenda was claiming that a shoe is a phenomenon, we were talking about a scientific experiment, and we asked her about a phenomenon, right? The first step. What did you observe? She observed the shoe. And she said, if shoe, then shoe. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know what to tell you about that.
And then the question was, what causes shoe?
No, the next question was, what's the hypothesis? And she said, this is a shoe.
She also said wood is cause of table. So, yeah.
We know the cause of a shoe and we know the cause of a table. Those are man-made phenomena, so to speak, not a natural phenomenon.
Zinder's just playing for laughs. He knows he can't go wrong with this.
Well, my meaning was deeper than that. I was trying to show you guys you have to apply context to everything you see and hear. And that's something that quite doesn't happen when it comes to debates.
Amazing.
Wait, did you see the episode where did you see the show where we were talking about Brenda with the shoe? Did you see that?
No.
Oh, so you had no context then?
Let me get it straight.
No, not at all.
You're telling us.
All right, cool.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. You're telling us we need to be mindful of context when describing words. Now, you said that following us beautifully contextualizing it and Paul pointing out that it's been contextualized and was contextualized when discussed with Brenda. Then you've been asked if you've actually seen this, so you have the correct context and you don't.
What a freaking retard.
I love
you
it.
Are. Unbelievable. Elmer
I'm
Fudd
saying
is blushing.
that
Elmer Fudd is blushing, sir.
Like saying a shoe is a phenomena, and everybody who doesn't know the context will tell you a shoe is a phenomena.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're telling a Ferrari engineer, right, about how to make throttle bodies and what they do and how they work. And then the Ferrari engineer says, have you ever seen a throttle body? And you go, oh no, I've never even touched one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Isn't it?
You've not seen the thing we're
Just left it alone.
discussing. The context is purely about what Brenda said and the context she said it in. And you don't know that.
Yeah,
but
so-
you're telling us to be mindful of context.
Yeah. Yeah. What a doofus you are, sir.
There's a
So
word that
you agree with me that context exists? That's great. Now try to apply it in your thinking about the world.
yeah, it still doesn't make
Why,
shoe.
why
a
don't you
phenomenon.
try to apply a shoe to a scientific experiment? Have at it.
I could.
Okay.
Oh, you could.
So formulate the
Let's
hypothesis.
try
then.
it.
I might have a gravity theory for shoes.
No,
Special type of gravity.
let him.
I'm trying to inject
All right.
something for
You
half
have
an
to
hour.
Legolas.
I've been trying to inject something for half an hour.
Silence, Legolas.
Gone, Arwen.
I finally got my science degree. No, wait, not
Your science
my
acumen.
science level. I finally science leveled up. I got the
Or
skill
let's
points
let's
now.
try
Okay?
to study the nature of light by seeing how it reflects off a shoe. And if you don't agree to a shoe reflecting light because a shoe is man-made, then you have to dismiss
So,
the
are you trying
quantum
to science
eraser
the light or
experiment
for
too.
the
What
for
the
the
hell
shoe?
is
Because the
he
things
talking
the
about
light
now?
gets
Yeah,
emitted
he
from
shifted
or
it. This is
reflected
what
from
happens. He
are
shifted
man-made
it.
too.
He was talking about shoe,
Why
now he's talking about
being
light. This is what happens with the Glovers. They change the context. So they
Called
want
moving the goalposts. It's a
exactly.
form of dishonesty.
Like, we wasn't supposed to hear that?
Anthony did it on the last show. It was priceless. So the question came up about Coriolis, and then it moved on to gravity, and then it moved back onto Coriolis by Anthony's answer, but then he mixed it back up with gravity and made it overtly obvious that that's what he'd done. It was really quite comical.
Okay, we're still waiting for Zinder's shoe experiment. Can we start
Yes,
from
I
the
was talking
first
about
step, please?
All right.
Yeah, just
we
over-talk
try
me,
to
retard.
study.
I don't get the full statement out before you start over-talking me, right? Is that how this game is going to go?
Try again.
So, Zender, you said that you were going to conduct an experiment with this frigging shoe. So, step one, observe a natural phenomena. Go.
Shoe.
Light being reflected off the shoe. We try to study light by seeing how it reflects off a shoe.
We're not talking about light,
And
retard. We're talking about the shoe.
The shoe is the
No, I'm
phenomena.
talking about the
Let's just,
how do
hold
you
on, I've got to
see a
take
shoe?
Zinder.
Yes?
I've got to take control straight away. You said the phenomena is the shoe. That's your argument. Is the phenomena's the shoe?
No.
No. Your
That
whole
was
premise
Brenda's
of being
argument,
here is to
Zinder.
argue that a
That
shoe's
was
a
Brenda's.
phenomena. Oh, I'm being rumpused.
Context, Zinder.
Yeah,
Sorry.
context.
Sorry, Nick.
Shoe is a phenomena. Now, that doesn't need any context. That's a statement you've made.
Yes.
Yeah, so in this instance, shoes, not the fucking light. So I'm getting annoyed. The shoe.
Yes, the shoe is a phenomena. Just
Yeah, so let's start there then. Shoe is the phenomena, not the light bouncing off the shoe, dingbat.
So,
not
Zinder,
regarding scientific experiments.
Oh, really?
Zinder.
So when we contextualize this into science, shoe is not a phenomena.
Zinder, do you agree that in
Hold
the
on,
scientific
Anthony. Nathan just asked him a question.
He's obviously not going to answer it.
Wait.
No, I'm gonna answer this question. So, a shoe is a phenomena, as I read to you the definition of a phenomena, right? And now I'm
Right.
trying to conduct an experiment using a shoe. Just using a shoe. I'm not focusing the shoe. I'm looking at the
Okay.
shoe, and I'm trying to conduct an experiment, seeing how it reflects light.
Okay.
And
So if
then I'm
shoe
gonna
is the
study the
phenomena-
light is reflected.
Zinder,
So I'm
if
gonna
shoe
make
is
an
the phenomena-
experiment using a shoe studying the light.
Shoe is the phenomena that makes shoe the dependent variable in an experiment. Agreed?
No, the shoe is a phenomena. The shoe isn't the phenomena. I'm focusing on the experiment.
But that's the dependent
Hold
variable.
on. That's very important, Zinder, that we get the right context. Okay? You understand?
Oh, context. All right. You want me to argue?
Yeah, shut up, shit for brains. We're talking about science. We're talking about an experiment. We're talking about your shoe not being a phenomena, you stupid dick.
Come on, Zinder.
A shoe is a phenomena.
No, because with context, it isn't now, is it, dipshit?
With what?
Hang on.
Context!
Hang on. Right, if shoe is the phenomena, that makes shoe the dependent variable, does it not, Zinder?
A shoe is just a phenomena which exists.
Okay, I accept. Now let's formulate that into a hypothesis. Your shoe, as the phenomena, must be the dependent variable. Do you disagree?
Oh, in my definition of phenomena, nobody said something about science here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why we said context, dickhead.
Yeah, we weren't going by your definition. We were talking about science. You brought along the definition afterwards, and it has sod all to do with science. So your definition is shit.
Oh, my definition is shit.
Yeah, because contextually, the thing you told us we should be mindful of, it's got fuck all to do with science now, has it? Because in this context, a shoe is not a phenomena, regardless of what your shitty little definition says. It doesn't meet the standard of a happening, of an effect, of something contextualized in science. You're just a shit for brains and think that by calling it a phenomena, after the fact, contextualized in science, by using this ham-handed crap definition, that somehow that means a shoe is a phenomena. Except in science, which is the context.
Oh, so you want to go to Cambridge Dictionary and tell them to change the definition? Because I don't
What a clown
No,
this guy is.
The problem is not the
can I
dictionary,
help?
Zinder. Zinder, the problem is not the dictionary. The problem is when you come to formulate it in context in a scientific experiment. Because you can't make your dependent variable a shoe, can you, in a scientific experiment?
All right, enough with the game. Yes.
Right. Just at the point
agree
where you
with
get
you,
killed,
Anthony,
you
whatever
back off and call it a game, right?
What?
Can I help? Maybe let's try. Let me try Zinder. Let me try a different tactic. A natural occurring phenomena is. Well, actually, let me ask the question: is a shoe a naturally occurring phenomena, or is it a
No, it
man-made
isn't.
phenomena?
No, it isn't a naturally occurring phenomena. It isn't.
Context.
Oh dear.
It's not an effect.
That's great.
Listen,
Isn't it fun to argue with someone who doesn't understand context?
What, you?
Yes.
Not really, if I'm honest. But you did get a lot of laughs along
See,
the
that's my
way.
entire fucking point here. Thank you very much. And try to understand the irony in what I just did.
I do understand the
And
irony.
I got
You
a
picked a
irony.
winner. I think you picked well. You couldn't go wrong with this shoe thing. Well done. Good for you.
Yep.
Wow.
That's
Zinder, we're more concerned with naturally occurring phenomena, not a man-made phenomena.
And do you know why that is, Zinder? Because we know what causes the man-made phenomena. Man. So, Zinder, would you agree with me if I suggested that the sun appearing to go down on the horizon is a naturally occurring phenomena?
Would you agree the sun going down on the horizon is a natural phenomenon, Zinder?
Come on, Zinder.
Is he gone? Maybe he's not there anymore. I don't see him anymore. I think he might have gone.
Are we trying for
that
world
was fun.
to say phenomena?
Say again, Darren?
Yeah, we're trying to break the Guinness World Records for how many times we can say phenomena.
I love the way you say it. It was almost sexy. It was phenomena. You almost overpronounced it intentionally.
Well, this is actually a good representation of what the globetrotters are doing. Actually, you know, we're saying one definition and they're saying another, and then they're saying we disagree with a definition. So this is the game. This is the trick right here. We just saw it.
And this is the reason why this argument is going to be won or lost in the meaning of words. As dirty as the word semantic appears to be from the baller's perspective, it is, of course, the reason that's going to basically release this nonsense from being spellbound by wizardry in the science and the education of the world that we live in. Don't live in a model, we live in a real world. Let's prove that the phenomena that we observe, the sun setting, is actually caused by something rotating rather than the way it appears, which seems to be traversing over a plane, dropping to the horizon as a result of perspective, and then being atmospherically blocked by some kind of phenomena that we have a name for. And guess what? We can calculate with a bit of maths. Rayleigh's criterion. Bit of maths there, boys and girls. That is the explanation.
Shout out to JQ, says, bring back Zanick. Zinda is boring. Indeed. And with that, I'll say, first and foremost, if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on the Nathan Oakley channel, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Another massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Told him off for joining because he makes bad representations. He makes them look stupid. Because I think it's to do with the way that he babbles and stuff rather than the points he makes. His points are generally okay.
So why do they let him talk at all?
Pardon?
Why do they even let him speak at all?
Who are you talking about?
Did you know that Rumpus and his colleagues? Oh well, Rumpus isn't allowed to join. They shout at him for joining because they don't want to give credibility to any of the points that's being made because they want it to die out. So they don't want Rumpus joining because it adds fuel to our fire when we, put his toes to the fire or whatever. They don't want that. They want Rumpus to leave us alone and let us have an echo chamber so that there's no opposition for us to have, so that the show dies out.
The show won't die out. There's never going to be a point where we won't have somebody who's disgusted in the fact that we oppose their obviously true anyway point of view. That will happen. It happened when we were talking about Back to the Future. It'll happen again. I said this to you 8 months ago, Anthony, and you're like, you're taking too hard a line. You've got to let them have a win here and there. Should we let them have a win on this? And I'm like, no, it won't matter. Somebody will come in when they're all fucked off, when they're all toe tagged and dead, and some fundy who doesn't even realise he's a fundy and just knows he's right. We already know we live on a sphere, and these idiots are talking about Back to the Future. Ugh, don't they know we have got Coriolis effect? And he'll come in and tell us. Like we don't know, because we haven't had anybody coming in opposing us for 24 hours or 48 hours, and we'll be talking about something slightly off topic, and in comes Norm. That's what'll happen. Until the globe's dead, and at the moment it's the prevailing religion. It's far from dead in the eyes of the general public. We know it's dead. We know it's not real, but there's still going to be normies.
Sad to think that the conversation died like 2 years ago, kind of at the end of when Red's rhetoric said, maths is reality. That's kind of when it died. But if I came to Flat Earth now and I didn't realise that the conversation kind of was over, I'd feel a little bit hard change because it's like, I'd want that conversation. I'd want to know.
Yeah, Curve died with the curve calculator. Space died with the second law of thermodynamics.
Yep.
Earth turn died with Coriolis effect. What else we got? The molten iron core. What can you say about that?
Paul Voigt died with molten iron core.
Yep.
Nathan, just to let you know, that link you sent me yesterday concerning the subject matter we were talking about in physics forums is not working.
Oh, has he killed that link? Did you get any screen grabs?
I did not.
Oh no.
So he knows it's there then.
QE, can you move everyone?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I was on another mission. Yeah, I'll move them.
I guess after that you could toe tag Zender for phenomenon as well, couldn't you?
He was trolling though. He wasn't really taking a genuine position. He is a moron though. They're not in a good position, either, these ballers.
Yep, I tried it like 7 times. The link, and it's done. That's all right. We can still hold his toes to the fire.
If you know what was said, you might be able to look it up by that, because I've done that before when I don't know the link, but I just look up. I know the wording and able to find stuff. If you tried that,
you might be able to get on the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, Wayback Machine's a good idea too. Put the link in Wayback Machine.
If it were a while ago.
Quantum Eraser, can you answer me a question?
No, I can't because I'm doing something else. I'm a man. I can only do one thing at a time.
And even that one thing is questionable.
Hey, is that you, Anthony, hacking up the furball or your dog?
My dog, believe it or not. Are you done? Yeah. He's all done.
Quantum, can I ask you a question?
What part of no, I'm doing something else is particularly confusing?
I don't think he heard you.
It's quite a tough question, though, so I don't know if you'd be able to answer it.
I don't really care.
Quantum entanglement, you're always so nice.
Hang on, Quantum.
And courteous.
Guy's obviously a ball
And courteous.
Let's hear it, John. He's obviously a dickhead. Let's hear it.
What is a crayon muncher?
Why is that a difficult question to ask? Answer.
Great question.
Because I ain't got a bloody clue what it means.
I'll tell you. So, both of my children occasionally eat crayons.
Just for shits and giggles?
Well, no, because they're 3 and 5 months old.
You need to teach your children not to eat crayons, but
Tends to be a preschool behaviour, eating crayons.
yeah, I get it now.
I say John's an equal crayon muncher distributor because he calls flat earthers crayon munchers and he calls globetrotters crayon munchers. So nobody's exempt.
Arwen's a crayon muncher. Is he not here?
Not here, but I wouldn't call Arwen a crayon muncher.
I was just trying to poke the bear a little bit, see if we could get a reaction.
He's not here.
No. All right. Shout out retracted.
Hey, blind sniper.
Oh my goodness.
So somebody sent me a screenshot of Zanick trying to revise the definition of Coriolis, like a snippet of it. It's in Master B if somebody wants to pull it up. It's not too detailed, but just funny to see how they're trying to revise shit on the fly.
Yeah, they're just dishonest. They don't like the citations, and then they start changing them. They did it with that general relativity and superseded, right? Somebody changed it from superseded to refines. Fucking weasels.
Hey, somebody just sent me a link I don't know where it went to. The Truth just sent me a link to physics forums. Could you send that again, please?
Why is it so quiet?
There's no dumb fucks in here. Hello,
Trying
Dawn.
to find information that has gone awry, gone astray.
Hey, did you put it in the Hangouts link or the Hangouts chat here? Is that what you just did? Because I can't click on that damn thing. Oh, brother.
Just kill the man. Put a gun against his head.
No, I'll
Pull
get copyright.
the trigger, now he's
No,
dead.
we don't have the license to do that.
Oh. What? You can't sing anymore?
No, it's not yours.
Really? You can't sing on YouTube?
No, not unless you own the copyright to the song.
Oh, right.
I thought you meant you don't have license to kill.
Say again, sorry?
Oh my god.
For a moment I thought you meant we don't have license to kill because the verse was put a gun up on his head, pull the trigger, now he's dead.
All right, sure. Thanks. Hey, Truth, did you send it in the Hangouts in Google Hangouts link? Or Google Hangouts link? In the Google Hangouts chat, did you just send it there?
Nathan, just clarify. Were you being serious then when you said you can't sing somebody else's song?
Yes, I was being serious.
I did not know that.
So if we come on and sing a little medley, we can get you blocked each time.
Anyway, Dawn, what the fuck are you doing here, you fucking piece of shit?
Can you stop swearing?
No, he deserves it.
In the same way, right? If I was to go and sing a Rick Astley song on a stage and sell tickets, do you think he'd be happy about that?
That would be amazing.
Or do you think that might? Or do you think that might breach his copyright?
If it was you singing it, probably you'd be really pissed off.
My point is that that's licensable material. It's copywritten material. You can't just sing on a recording that's going to be broadcast on a platform for public consumption with monetized ads on it. That's just blatant infringement of copyright.
I'd never even thought about it from that perspective. I thought copyright was just like playing his music because that is his music, but singing his music, that isn't that your song?
No,
you're singing it.
No, that's you covering someone else's song, covering their copywritten material.
Seems a bit harsh.
I think you might be right.
It's the essence
Can't even
of
upload like Christmas songs and stuff, like the family singing Christmas songs.
Well, they're probably not copywritten, but in any event, there's a big distinction between me having someone sing a Queen song, which is absolutely covered by copyright, and your family video, which even if it was broadcast on YouTube, no one's going to care.
Yeah.
Did you know here in the U.S., churches have to, if they sing a song in church, they can fall under that guideline. So if they're just singing a song that somebody else wrote in a church, copyright law applies. And some churches have to pay copyright rights to sing a song in the church.
That's exactly the same principle. Exactly. Correct. Yes.
We're
wouldn't
supposed
it?
to do it in a club as well. When we DJ, we're supposed to pay something somehow, but no one does.
I mean, if you're playing the person's song, that's different than if you're singing the song and being like churches gain money from worship. So that's where the line gets blurred very badly.
Anyway, fascinating though copyright is.
Hello.
Hello.
Could I ask something? Can I get some clarification? Questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's the one. Any signs of a molten iron core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth? Am I quoting it right?
Perfect. Yep.
Yep.
I think the claim is for a solid core, and then there is like a molten outer core.
There's 3 parts to it. There's a solid inner, there's a molten outer, and a molten inner as well. So it's solid and molten on the model.
What?
To be honest, I don't think it's To be honest, I don't think it's that important. It's mostly so whoever studies those cores has something to talk about with his office colleagues. But
I mean,
just
at
for,
the end of the day, we could just whittle it down to just core.
Chocolate. He was in the middle of talking.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm just I just want to highlight that I don't think it's that important. But since
You are right, it does say solid, not molten. So the question's wrong anyway.
No, did you not hear what my response was? There is an inner
Yeah, but I
and
just
an
looked it
outer molten core. There is also a solid inner core. Doesn't matter which core we're talking about. They're all above about 5,000 degrees. None of them have got Curie temperature compliant positions. So the question
Don't you say
isn't
molten
how
inner
solid, it's
core?
legit.
Solid. You say molten core, or do you say molten inner core?
A molten iron core. Yeah, there's 3 cores, and 2 of them are molten.
Oh,
One
that's
of them is
fine.
solid. Not a
Yeah.
malformed question. It's fine.
Dawn,
bit
if
of a
we
trick.
just said
It's
core, would you be able to prove that?
Well, we say molten iron core, and there are 3 cores. Like I said, 2 of them are molten, one of them is liquid, solid.
But the actual core of the core is solid. So there's no point in
It's a
asking for a molten
3-stage
iron one
core,
because
inner,
science says
outer,
it's
and
solid.
core. Listen, this isn't
So
one
it's
of
just
those things that
semantics.
you can think
Bad
of as
semantics on the
molten when it's
question
not.
again.
It is a
Thanks
molten
for
iron
pointing that
core.
out. Dances with Fools, thank you for pointing that out. Bad semantics on Nathan's question again.
No, it isn't, dickhead. You're a fucking... Why are you here, Dawn? Fuck off.
He's here because he's got this superb argument of saying the word semantics, like somehow that gives him a win each time. Then he'll probably call
I'm
me a
here
cunt
to
and then
watch
declare his victory.
you.
Or talk through
I'm
me.
here to watch you lie to the fools, to
Yeah,
the global
that's the
fools
other
that come here
tactic.
and listen to you lie.
Tell me I'm a liar.
Talk
Say it's
bullshit
semantics.
every
Call
day.
me a cunt. Go on.
I'm the Joker of the pack. I'm here to point fingers at all of you and say you're all retarded, man. Look at you. What are you doing with your lives?
No, Dawn, you're the sub.
No, I'm the Joker.
You're the submissive who gets beaten and whipped.
Dawn is the sub.
You're the gimp.
No, I'm the Joker.
You're the gimp.
No, you're the sub.
Gimp.
That is what you are, Dawn. You are the sub.
You're the jester.
Somebody
Yeah,
zip
but
his mouth up.
I'm the one doing art. You're the one lying about science to 200 people every day. So
Oh, really?
who's the better
What
person?
lie do you think that there is, Dawn?
What
Funny how
lies?
you want to hang around with the liars all day, right, Dawn? Like a real loser. What the hell's wrong with
Well,
you?
I got some friends who believe flat Earth. Yeah, but
Bring out the
Oh.
dawn. The
I
dawn's
don't think you have
sleeping.
any friends, Dawn.
I
think you've
I
just
guess
got
you better go wake him up.
everything, Riley, everything you and Nathan have ever said about flat Earth is a lie.
Oh, really?
Everything.
Well, Dawn, is the Earth turning, and can science prove it, Dawn? No, it can't, can it, Dawn?
That, ladies and gentlemen, is called a stone cold silence.
I just went to put
Why can't
pizza in the
science
oven,
prove
dude.
it, Dawn?
I just walked away from the mic to put pizza in the oven.
Okay, so let me re-ask the question. Is the Earth turning, and can science prove it, Dawn?
Depends what you mean by proof and science. Depends what you mean by science.
Yeah, context is important, and we're asking for scientific proof of all of the shit that you guys tell us is true and proved by hundreds of years of science. So in the context of science, Dawn, can the Earth turn be proven? Yes or no?
Not with the scientific method, but with science. Yes.
Right. So how do we know the Earth turns then, Dawn?
By all the evidence of it turning.
What evidence? Any scientific?
Yeah.
No, you just admitted there's none of that. So
Yeah,
what
we have
evidence is there that
scientific
Earth
evidence.
turns, Dawn?
We just don't have the full scientific method proving it. Like you.
What evidence is there that's Earth turning, Dawn?
Hold on, he's just said there is scientific evidence. It's just not evidence that complies to the scientific method. That's a contradiction.
So it's not scientific evidence, then, is it, Dawn?
Yeah, that's what scientific evidence is. So if it doesn't comply with the scientific method, it isn't scientific evidence.
It is.
No, it isn't.
By definition,
It
Dawn.
is. Observations, measurements, data, that's all been done.
Observation.
Oh, where are the
data.
measurements at?
Hold on.
Wrong.
This
No,
isn't
no,
science.
no.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Chocolate, no. There is no measurements. You failed to measure experiment, which is the king of the scientific method, sir.
Of course, there's measurements, John. Or else you'd be right about the flat Earth commune, wouldn't you? If there was no evidence for a globe, you'd be the king of the world.
You failed to
But you're not, are you? You're just whinging on Discord.
Do
So
not
obviously there is globe
overtalk
evidence.
me. It is not going to work. You failed to mention
It is working.
experiment.
Come on, Dawn.
Yeah,
Admit it.
your
You can't
idea of
do
an
it.
experiment is flawed, John.
Experiment. Baseless assertion fallacy.
Too strict, dude. Your definition of experiment
What
is too
is an
strict. dude.
experiment? Give me the three
with the
constituent parts of a
times.
scientific
Hold on,
experiment.
you're talking over each other. Hold on. Dawn said, your
Sorry.
definition of the scientific method is too strict. So my question to you, Dawn, too strict for who?
For
Ballers.
everybody that does science nowadays. Even for the Google definition, for the dictionary. For
Google
English.
definition, huh? You're a clown. Give me the three
Yeah.
constituent
You're-
parts of a scientific experiment.
No, because your idea is different to mine. It's warped. Your idea is warped. You've changed what an experiment is to suit your own little ideals, so that you can say that's not one. That's not
What
one.
are the three
that's not one.
constituent parts of a scientific
It's
experiment?
absurd, and it's nihilistic, and it's
It's
solipsistic. and
absurd.
you're
It's
angelic.
yellow. The color. It tastes bad. It smells bad.
So what you're being asked, Dawn, if you say his interpretation of an experiment is wrong, we're asking you to tell us what an experiment is based on your understanding by giving us the three constituent parts of an experiment.
No.
No. What do you mean? You're telling him he's wrong and his interpretation's wrong. So first we need to establish what the interpretation is according to you.
My experiment doesn't have three constituent parts.
Not an
My
experiment.
explanation
Then it's not
of
an
one
experiment.
Yeah, I'm afraid it is, John. That's where you're wrong.
Okay, what's this experiment then?
Well, I can just observe something and then write down what I saw.
Hey, Dawn, let me ask you
That's
this.
called
I
observation
observed
and
on
writing it down.
Dawn, on Christmas morning, I observed that there are presents under my Christmas tree. Does that prove that Santa got his big fat ass down my chimney and delivered them or not?
That wasn't what you were trying to prove, was it? You're trying to prove Santa, then you need to do
I'm
more than just look
observing
at
that there
presents.
are presents under my tree. Does it prove that Santa got underneath my tree or not?
It's an experiment to see if there were presents under your tree.
That's correct.
Right, and I observed presents under my tree, Dawn. So does that prove
Agreed
that
with my
Santa delivered them or
definition of
not?
experiment. John's wrong, basically.
Does that prove that Santa got his fat ass down my chimney or not, Dawn?
John's wrong.
No. You missed the second
Great
step,
argument.
which was write it down. So
Great
you
argument.
saw the presents under your tree, then you wrote down presents under my tree. There you go, Don. Go ahead.
That's a bit like
Yep.
Earth, like
Nice
sunset.
Nice experiment. Have you got
So
a photo
Dawn,
to go with it of the
presents
presents?
under the
That'd be
tree
cool.
would be
That'd
my
be cool.
phenomena, and I observe them like I observe sunsets. Does that prove that the Earth is turning, Dawn?
It's science. If you take some data about it, do a measurement or something, you
Define
can
a
call that
scientific
science. Yeah.
experiment. Define
You
a
can call it an
scientific
experiment.
experiment. Define a scientific experiment. I want to cite source cited, please.
Observation, measurement.
No, I want a source cited, please. No, that's not an experiment, you friggin' clown. Go ahead and cite. I need a citation, please.
I'm afraid it is, you crown muncher.
You're
We're
afraid
asking
it
you
is,
to back
huh?
it. So where's your citation to back that observation and then writing something down is an experiment, which it absolutely isn't.
That's what science means. I'm not here to cite you bullshit.
Yeah, but
Oh, so you can't support what you say.
I'm the joker in the pack. I'm just reminding you, you're liars, guys. That's
So
why
you
I'm
can't
here.
support
I'm
what
not
you
citing-
say. You are a village idiot who can't support what they say. You are the same, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, there's no point in attempting to make baseless assertions here, Dawn. It's not going to fly.
Well, it has flown, hasn't it? Because you're
No.
reacting
And
to
he
it.
knows,
Truly
and he
not.
knows this
Everyone's,
shit.
everyone's listening.
You're like running down the clock or something. Like, you're ridiculous. Oh, I don't agree with your scientific method. Oh, I don't agree with your definition of experiment. What's your definition? Nah. What's your scientific? Nah. Right? Just Just nah. Can't wave it. Right, Don?
Nathan, guess what I found?
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Zanick, how you doing?
Let's hear Zanick. Come on, Zanick. Speak
Perfect timing.
Speak up, Zanick.
Nathan, guess what I found?
I can
You
guess.
know, John.
I can
Let's
guess.
let's get Zanick on it.
You there, Zanick?
Come on, Zanick. It's feeding time at the zoo.
Come on, man. He's clearing his throat. He's doing some push-ups real quick. Give him a second. Give him a second.
Some 5-hour energy.
Yep.
Seems we need a few more super chats to bring Zanick out.
We're not actually live. But if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, smash the super chat.
Super chats cure cancer.
And AIDS. Anyway, where's Zanick? He's here, but not here.
Well.
Come on, man. We all got our recorders ready. Let's go, Zanick.
Got some questions, Zanick.
He's in the chat. He's interacting, but he's not in the voice.
Can you interact with him and tell him to get his...
He hears us.
Back
He
in
can
here?
hear. Yeah.
He's not in. Yeah, he is. He's in here.
I must have missed him. Sorry, but I saw him interacting in the type chat.
He's in the after show. I can see his name and his icon.
Come on, Zanick.
Paul, real quick, can you go to Master B and get that screenshot?
It's okay. He's here. Do you want to share your screen, QE?
Wait one.
We can start discussing it. I'm sure it'll pipe up sooner or later.
No, let's not start. He might run.
That's okay. I
Is
don't
that
mind
a
that.
chocolate? Is it?
Let's talk about presents under the Christmas tree and how that proves that Santa got it.
Yeah, somebody sent me
My
that.
chimney. Are you still there, Dawn?
Just me. I've got a real sense of deja vu. Anybody else got that at the moment? Has this happened
Yeah.
before?
Yeah, regularly. Observe a natural phenomena, conclude that it's gravity. Observe a natural phenomena, conclude that it's Earth turn. Okay, don't prove it, but tell people it's true anyway.
I'm sharing.
Yeah, because science is observing something and then writing it down.
Okay, I've got you presented. You're nice and big.
Oh my goodness gracious! Hold on a second. Let me stop screen sharing.
I bet John is big right now.
Okay.
Come to daddy.
Anybody
He's
got
gonna
any
be like,
elevator music that's not in copyright?
This is going to be like the scene out of Deliverance.
Dun, 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 dun. Who's typing?
Not me.
Oh my
Kiwi?
god! 1 second.
What do you mean 1 second? You're the one causing the ruckus.
Zanick's asking about reference frames in the chat. So if he either is not
Don't
listening,
address
doesn't
him.
want to come in. Oh, I know. Just want to see if he'll come in. Entice him to come in.
Yeah, let's get him in. Here, Zanick, 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 Zanick. Here, pretty boy. Come and sit on Uncle John's knee. Let's talk about the birds and the bees. Zanick.
They won't come in because yesterday they had a AA meeting about Nathan's abuse, so they're not coming in.
An AA meeting?
Yeah, they were all having
Oh,
a
they have
12-step program.
feelings.
What's an AA meeting? Alcoholics Anonymous, or is it some other?
The 12-step program for getting abuse help or something.
Oh.
All right, Nathan.
Back to
Sorry.
Zanick.
All right, Nathan. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I'm
Yeah. You're back on screen.
Yeah, so a little birdie dropped this into my inbox, and it's physics forums. And who do we find in here? We find our good friend Zanick, who has been parroting what he's been getting from his physics forums posts. So we got G-forces when falling, proper acceleration questions, some slinky questions, some gravity, a force or a cause of a force questions. Did Newton actually think gravity was absurd? Another gravity, not a force, not a force or cause of a force. The second law of thermodynamics and philosophy. I can't wait to see what's in there.
Man,
And who started this? Let's scroll up.
Man, Zanick.
Well, he just said in the chat that he's worried about being talked over. So
Yeah.
So if we will promise not to talk over him, we let him come in.
I'm not promising him anything. The guy's a lying sack of shit. He's a fundamentalist religious zealot who lies to us and the audience, misrepresents positions, and only argues from a position of a presupposed spinning, non-inertial spinning ball Earth as a reference frame. So I'm not going to apologise or promise him anything. No, I owe him no quarter.
So
The
his
reason
post
why he
here.
doesn't want to join.
So his
The reason
post
why he doesn't
here.
want to join is because he was.
Shut up,
yesterday,
Zender.
it seems.
Hold on.
So his post here, Zanick, is the Earth a closed system? Since by definition, a closed system is one that can exchange energy outside its barriers, but not mass. Is the second law only applicable for closed and isolated systems, you freaking clown? And if the Earth is closed, why is it not open? If we do exchange mass with the universe, we take on meteors, cosmic rays, particles, and we send out spacecraft. So technically, it should be open, correct? Clown, you are so busted here.
What was their response?
Oh God, I didn't. 1 second.
So he said, if the Earth is closed, why is it not open?
Yes, that's correct. That's what he asked. Yes.
Wow, man.
Let's see who answers.
This might entice him in because I've been thinking about this. If they say mass is the cause that's maintaining the atmosphere, then technically the so-called gravity or mass should overcome entropy, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
If they're right.
It
so
should.
Come on and explain how gravity overcomes entropy.
It doesn't. It should, based on their fundy rhetoric. It can't. It doesn't. It never will.
And do you know why, Paul? Because gravity is not a force.
Response to Zanick from Chester Miller, whoever this guy is, right? No, Zanick. Entropy is a physical property of each material comprising a system, and the system can be open or closed. That is correct. Also, there are open system versions of both the first law of thermodynamics and the second law of thermodynamics. Open system versions, huh, Chester? I'd really like to see those versions. This is clown on clown crime. All right, that's one answer.
More, please.
More, please. A force.
Clown on clown crime. I like that.
I love it.
Okay, Zanick
we've got his
started.
attention. We've got his attention. Hey, Zanick.
Hey
not.
there, SA.
Carry on,
We
John.
got
Feel
you.
free. I'm sure we'll hear from him again.
Okay, so I can carry on. So I think Zanick, he started this one off. Gravity has always been considered a force. More accurately, and force, you need some English instruction. A force of attraction. Recently, it has been redefined to be more associated with Einsteinium. What the hell is that?
Recently defined. 100 fucking years, dickhead.
Causing bending of space-time. Is there an official definition that we can use and a citation to show a consensus? You bet you needed that, because we'd be asking for that. When I get into discussion, this is really good. When I get into discussions regarding gravity, I say that it is a force that is caused by gravity, that the acceleration is due to gravity. There are some like George frigging Musser who have recently said gravity is not a force, but can be thought of as a force. I think what he means is that there is a force or a force of attraction caused by gravity.
Wow.
No, hold on. I'm not done yet. Take it easy. Is this not a good way to think about it? After all, we all know a magnet is not a force, but it causes a force. Gravity causes a force due to two masses being attracted to each other. This force or attraction is said to be proportional to the two masses and inversely proportional to the distance between them. This isn't Newton's equation, you dumb fuck cracker. If this is true, is there an actual citation I can use for proof? Citations aren't proof. They're baseless assertion fallacies. You need to demonstrate proof. I can use for proof of this interpretation of gravity to anyone that asks, or is gravity truly a force, as would then magnetism be a force?
What he's trying to do is he's trying to ask a question so he gets the answer worded in a way that he wants it worded.
From AT, he responded, science advisor, whatever this means. Gravity is an observed phenomena that can be modeled as an interaction force or space-time geometry. You're an idiot, AT. So hold on.
The fact that he's even asking these questions means that he knows he's rumbled.
Yeah, well, what he's doing, he's asking these questions in these forums and taking their answers and parroting them to us.
I mean, that's a form of education in one sense. It's just the fact that he's asking the questions in the first place and citing Musa tells you that he realizes that gravity is not a force. So he's going to keep asking people that'll tell him it's a force to try and override Musa when he's a fucking PhD and specializes in astrophysics. You're not going to get that, Mike. That's like fighting the flat earth, wanting George Musa to go against his own citation. That's not going to fucking happen. They know what the current science is. It's not a force. They don't know what it is, but it's definitely there, and they can definitely calculate it, and it makes people like you think that it's doing something, and people like us realize it can't do anything unless it's a force. Moron.
All right, we got Draketh. He's a 2018 award science advisor, staff emeritus, responding to Zanick. The official definition depends on which model and theory you are using. The most accurate definition of obviously one where we treat gravity as a manifestation of space-time curvature. The less accurate definition is one of gravity being a force between two masses. We commonly associate truth with which theory is more accurate. But I find that usually treating things as varying levels of accuracy is more productive than saying things are true or false, right or wrong. Sir, who are you? Draketh? You need help, like with third grade general science. Do you need any more? Do we need any more here?
I'll have to make a quick statement. Alex, I've been watching things on thermodynamics, and every time I watch one, it says rigorously define the parameters. So if you can't rigorously define it, then it can't be truly accurate, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
That's correct, and they can't define gravity.
Hey, I got one last one. and I'll leave it because everyone gets the gist. Zanick's response after all the responses he got. Does anyone have a citation or something official that says gravity is a force or causes a force, or something to the effect that the force due to gravity? I have a side bet that this is true, but I need an official quote. Thanks. You're busted.
How much did you lose, Zanick?
Pride, ego, a job. Did someone ring your boss and tell you that you were wrong and got you sacked?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Zanick. You're incorrect, and obviously you're here publicly arguing your incorrect point about gravity causing a force. Did George Netting go after your job?
Did any flat earther go after your job?
No, George is typically the man that goes after people's jobs. Did he go after yours, Zanick? You're wrong, after all, and had clarified that it's wrong on that forum, admitted that you're wrong here. Now, in the case of Brian Mullen, he wasn't wrong. George was wrong. But you are actually wrong, and I want to know if George has gone after your job and made sure that you don't ever spout your incorrect nonsense publicly ever again. Because that would obviously be George's objective, wouldn't it? To stop idiots spouting nonsense like you? What's the matter? You're going to complain that you're going to get talked over, Zanick? You pretend the clown muppet?
John, what was his response to the request for a citation that gravity is a force?
Hold on.
Can you see this real quick? Read what this says, what I'm presenting.
You want to read it yourself? I've got it presented.
Okay, Zanick said, the hypothesis is that gravity causes objects to fall toward the surface of the Earth. Then whoever responded, Jay Briggs, I guess, said you need a better hypothesis, preferably something quantitative. As it stands, hot air balloons defy the hypothesis.
Sounds familiar.
Oh dear, Zanick.
Damn, you're getting smoked everywhere, huh, Zanick? Random people on the internet are smoking you.
The people on the forum did not supply him with his request, a citation or a quote.
Again,
so basically,
I'd like to...
Zanick, when you've asked for citation that gravity is a force to counter George Musa saying that it's not a force, no one fucking give it you, did they? So if no one give it you, what does that tell you, Zanick? Yet you're still going to come on and tell people that gravity is a force, right? It manifests itself in R3. Doesn't, dickhead. It doesn't exist. That's why nobody can define it. Nobody can prove it. It is just not existent.
Guy's a coward. He's on mute. The only thing he's got to complain about is say that he might get talked over. He's lied persistently to this audience. Non-stop. Yeah? He's claimed he's a pilot. Is George out chasing his credentials down for his absolute confirmed nonsense? Unlike the guys he does actually chase after. Unlike people like Brian Mullen, who correctly asserted that if Earth had a Coriolis effect, Earth would turn underneath aeroplanes. Yeah, Brian Mullen was correct, but George went after his job. Why isn't he going after Zanick's job? Zanick's wrong. Challenging astrophysicists, no less. Why isn't his job in jeopardy? Why isn't George Netting going after Zanick's job as a pretender clown in defiance of astrophysicists who preach the same religion as George?
Hey, another post from Zanick. Coriolis effect, conservation of angular momentum in planes.
Ooh, can you present this? Can you pop your screen back on? I'd love to see that. Great way to round the show out.
I'd have to search for it. I just got a screenshot of it. Somebody sent me. Got it. Hold on a second. Got it. So the faster the plane goes, the lighter it becomes. So if traveling north from the equator, the faster it goes, the more eastward it is deflected and the lighter it becomes. Are the forces additive just after leaving the equator going north? Say a 0.03% reduction in gravity? Oh my God. Let me see if I can find this whole thread. Give me a moment.
So, for those of you listening who are globeheads, the people who claim they know what they're talking about, and even try and educate people like Kosho, the younger, more naive globeheads, let's just not sugarcoat it, the stupid people. Yeah, these people are on science forums, phrasing questions that are an attempt to skew the answer in the form that they want. These are the people that are telling you about your world. They don't really understand the world that they're arguing here on Flat Earth Debate against us. They need to go and get questions after the fact when they've been smashed by us. That's why we're reading out Zanick's comments as he sits on mute and complains that he might get talked over. This is his only defence so far, from the chat while he's in here on mute. Coward. These are the snivelling little bitches we deal with on Globe Earth. They haven't got a winning argument. They're not going to present any evidence that the Earth is curving or that it's spinning, but they'll damn well go after your job if you point that out. Yeah? They won't go after Zanick's job for being completely incorrect for months and months on end. No. Because he believes the Earth's a globe, so he gets a pass. But George will damn well go after a flat earther that points out Earth doesn't spin under aeroplanes, and there is no Coriolis deviation proving Earth spins. That requires immediate action.
I have another one. That Zanick started. New thread. What does a helium balloon do on the ISS verse in open space? That's the title of the topic.
What does a helium balloon do?
What does a helium balloon do on the ISS verse in open space?
Well, on the ISS that's falling. Oh, the ISS, not the 0G. All right. What was the answer? What did they give him?
We got helium balloons on the ISS.
What was the answer they gave him, John?
It's a whole thread, man. I'd have to go through this step by step to figure it out. I'm just giving you the highlights.
Or the lowlights, as it might be.
Yeah.
What have you got,
Hey,
Paul?
Zanick.
Hey, Paul, what have you got?
Come to Daddy.
Yes, sir.
I've got your screen presented. What's up?
That's from Flatzoid posted it. This is kind of a good representation of what would happen with tangential speed at the higher altitudes. I would like the Zanick to talk to us about that and why we don't experience that.
Oh, I see. The first law of thermodynamics violation that is angular retention of angular velocity. Yeah, very good.
I have another one. Proving the effects of gravity by using the scientific method.
They speak of all our points in thingy, so he's obviously trying to get our points addressed, so he can come in here and try and use them against us. I wonder how this one goes down. Carry on, John?
Oh, dude, like I said, I'm just giving you the lowlights. I'm going to have to go through
That's
these.
okay.
It's going to take a long time.
While you're having a goosey, I'll just point out that upon, a week of formulation between many fundamentalist religious zealot globeheads, we were presented with what was called the Globe Earth housekeeping questions. And on the fly, we took every single question to pieces. And yet in, 18 months of presenting flat Earth housekeeping questions, the fundies who come here like Zanick, who's here right now, on mute, like a coward bitch, they have to go to physics forums and try and square their circles with leading questions. That's what they've got to do to try and address our questions. We're flat earthers. The Earth is obviously and observably flat. And all the people with a religious belief in a globe can do is go to physics forums to try and address our questions. And fail, I might add.
Here's one from me. Zanick, physics forums. Does an airplane have to nose down in order to follow a curve?
Of course it does, Zanick.
Zanick, why are you coming here defending these questions when you don't know the answers to any of them and you're having to defer to this website? Why not just send someone from the website? You're a pretender clown.
Yep. We're going to be asking you from now on, any answer that you give, who's actually speaking?
Yeah, you're not answering these questions, Zanick. You're parroting answers from physics sites after asking the questions we ask you and you give terrible answers for. So you're a fraud and a pretender clown.
Which is pretty weird because when he comes here, the first thing he says is, "You guys don't understand."
No, you don't. It's projection. Straight up projection. Right. You don't understand anything, Zanick. Clearly evidenced in all these questions you're asking. You literally don't understand anything and must ask the questions we ask to a third party to have any slightest hope of answering us. You're stupid, Zanick. You're stupid and don't know anything. Literally, you don't know anything.
there's nothing wrong with going to somebody else and asking. But what he's doing is he's asking it in a weaselly way to try and get them to give him the answer that he wants them to give, so that he can then use it against us to answer it. So rather than saying, is gravity a force? He has to say things like, George Musa says that gravity is not a force. Well, if George Musa, as a PhD, is already telling you that it's not a force, do you think that anybody else that's not a PhD is going to go against him other than ball earth retard morons? No. Why? Because everybody in science knows that it's not a force. And even if you think of it as a force, still doesn't make it a force, Zanick. That's why everybody's telling you it's not a force.
Zanick, I want to just say this. There's a ton of people screenshotting all your comments, so it would be the acme of foolishness to go in and attempt to delete your post. Just want you to know. Okay? And Chocolate, if he shows up on the fight nights tonight, could you please post this?
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Can I don't know why why isn't he responding to us? How dare you tell us that we don't understand things when it's quite evident with this information displayed here today, Zanick, that literally you know nothing. How dare you?
What's a fight?
What do you say, Ryan?
What's a fight night?
On 24/7 Discord 2.0, the Dr. Science has a show every Friday. Well, the show's every day, but on every Friday he's got a debate where it's Globers versus Flat Earthers, and he calls it Friday Night Fights.
Okay.
So
Kosho's still here. Kosho, your mentor is a retard. How do you feel about that, Kosho? Or have you been told by this retard that you're not allowed to answer me?
Kosho thinks he presented some mathematical equation that was fundamentally wrong because he applied cosine to it, and he made shit up on the spot, and I called it there and then, and he couldn't get his own mates to back him up. His own mates were applying weasel words like, yeah, I think that he could possibly describe it. You know, like how George Musa said, yeah, I quite like that gravity is, however Craig worded it, and then said it's not a force. His mates were doing it. It was, what's his name? Hillel Finder. And basically, Hillel Finder was saying, like, yeah, this isn't fucking right, mate. You've got this wrong. But rather than say it was wrong, he basically started, like, sucking his dick by saying, yeah, you know, it seems like you might be able to describe it in that way. And I can't actually remember what it was now, but it was fucking wrong. And rather than admit he got it wrong, they carried on lying and lying and lying, and then criticized me for lying. And I'm like, cosine, you're a fucking fraud. You're thick. And you tell people that they're thick. And I'm like, how the hell dare you? You disgust me. You are disgusting.
But Riley, interestingly enough, though, where after Kosho cited his, he posted his little citation about Coriolis that apparently Zanick doesn't agree with. Zanick tells me that he had to go at Kosho and tell him how wrong he was. So basically, Zanick is going to physics forums for coaching, and then is rehashing that coaching with Kosho.
Oh, I got another one. Pendulum in a vacuum versus with air resistance. Did you hear that? Pendulum in vacuum versus with air resistance from Zanick.
There's air resistance in vacuum?
What I love is that these are all basically... He's getting fed from our show, right? And he's going out and asking physics and in a way to try and get some supporting citation. And the fact that he keeps getting nothing tells us that if he did, because if he, let's be honest, if he did get something, he'd have been straight back in the next day telling us how stupid we are, right? And he doesn't come back in telling us, and he thinks that when he does have something, he comes in, tells us that we're stupid, and then gets absolutely devastated, destroyed, ripped apart by the wolf and the little baby cub. And the reality is, of course, Zanick is a fucking idiot. But he still comes in and tells people that we're stupid. And I'm like, hello.
We have sorry to interrupt. We have frame of reference questions also.
Oh, and we're the ones that don't understand frames of references, right, Zanick?
Oh boy, you're smoked, man. You're finished.
Why aren't we hearing anything from Kosho or Zanick? You unbelievable cowards.
Kosho's a moron. Kosho
Yeah,
thinks that
this is
cosine
pretty
was-
bad that we've been talking about it this whole time, and he's been here. He hasn't said one word. What's going on,
There's
man?
there's no way Zanick is a coward. I'll vote for that.
Yeah. Well, where is he? What are you doing?
He's a coward.
He is a
Zanic's
coward.
getting
No.
roasted right now, and he doesn't
I do
want to
not
talk.
agree.
Well, why isn't he talking when he's in the chat?
Demonstratably, right now, we're exposing the fact that. Well, let's
Yeah,
do it with another
response
one and see if he responds. So, in
his
the last
response
couple of
been pushed.
days, he has told me I don't understand reference frames. Now, I just heard a hint from Quantum Eraser that we've got Zanick having to get some clarity on reference frames now. So let's see if this unbelievable coward is going to justify how he clearly does not understand reference frames, and yet he's claiming I don't understand reference frames. Because as far as I'm concerned, he's here, and I'm telling him he's a coward, and he's not justifying his lack of understanding about reference frames. So Zanick, lest you be a coward, you're going to justify this total lack of understanding that needs clarity from a physics forum? Go ahead, QE. You read out his lack of understanding about reference frames.
Oh man, I'm on to other things. I passed that up a long time ago. I have to go back and find it. Give me a couple minutes.
I just find it unbelievable that he has to lecture us on what he says is that what we don't understand yet. There's the evidence that he's asking about it himself. So at least a couple of weeks ago, he didn't even understand it himself, but now he's currently seen the light. And we're all shit. Problem is, Zanick, come on.
He doesn't understand what a joule is either. This freaking clown. He's asking questions on what a joule is. Unbelievable.
DEUL.
Joule. Joule.
Joule. Yeah. Isn't it a measure of energy? Zanick. Come to daddy.
Yeah, ask Zanick, man. I got too much going on here.
These people are cowards. They're being ripped to pieces on an almost daily basis by flat earthers who are winning every argument. And we're pointing out that these cowards have to go after our jobs when they lose because they can't back up their arguments. They claim we don't understand things, and yet they're spending their entire day on physics forums finding out answers to the questions they don't understand, the questions we've put to them. People are frauds,
Pretty funny, Zanick.
cowards, double speakers, charlatans, fundamentalist religious zealots. He's out looking for answers that back his religion. That's all he's out looking for. He's asking these questions in such a way that is absolutely unequivocally demonstrating his zealotry. He's phrasing them in a leading way to get the answers he wants to back his religion, whilst coming here and telling us we don't understand. No, you don't understand, you fuckwit. Zanick, you're a fraud. You're a liar, a pretender clown. You're not to be trusted. You're a fraud. And you're teaching Kosho. Poor sod.
Why don't you go and ask your physics friends on the forums, is gravity a force? Hey, actually, you don't have to do that. Just go to Google and type in, is gravity a force? And then let us know how you get on with finding citations that are post-1915 that tell you that gravity is thought of as a force. You're not going to do it, mate. Why? Because currently Einstein. Not that I agree with Einstein, but you're sure as hell I'm not going to deny your current science because that makes you guys morons.
What's going on, Zanick? You constantly Discord rumpus us when you're here. You've hardly said a word. We're exposing you as a fraud. You've not got anything to say for yourself, you downright coward. You're like all of them. You represent the globe earth rhetoric and how it's argued. You are atypical. You've been compared to Rumpus on many occasions. And you are, like Rumpus, also idiotic. You don't understand anything. You're 100% wrong all of the time. And this is exemplified. Why don't you go away and ask this physics forum about how reference frames work? Because you don't understand. Oh, my bad. You already have, haven't you, you complete fucking retard? Yeah, you need to go and ask these obviously more intelligent people than yourself, even though they're demonstrably stupid in most instances. You need to ask these other retards how your religion works, because you don't understand, Zanick. You're a globe earther, and you don't understand. We will educate you, Zanick, because we do understand how reference frames work. We understand where the lies of gravity lie. We understand how they have pulled the wool over your eyes with their nonsense explanations about how Earth is curving. It isn't. We understand, Zanick. You are a demonstrable retard. That's why we've got all these comments that you've had to go away and ask after our very challenging questions that you claim we don't understand. No, we do understand. And you seem very troubled by our questions, don't you now, Zanick? Yeah, you're all concerned about our questions, so much so that you want to spend hours and hours and hours asking people seemingly more intelligent than yourself about how to answer our questions. Yeah? You think we don't understand and we're stupid and you're happy to tell our audiences that? But no, the globe-tards on this argument are the stupid ones. Like Zanick, as demonstrated on physics.com, or whatever the hell this forum is. He's a fucktard. He hasn't got the vaguest notion what he's talking about ever.
Let's just be clear as well. Hang on. Is there an easy way, a one-liner that we can demonstrate that Coriolis is a load of shit without using phraseology like inertial reference frame? Can we just say, apart from the obvious one being it doesn't apply to Earth because Earth's not turning, is there another way we can do it where we kind of beg the question for them? Because would I be right in saying that if Earth is turning, then planes have to get there faster and slower? Planes don't get there faster and slower. End of sentence. Is it that simple?
Yeah, it is that simple, yeah. Zanick could understand that if he understood reference frames. He doesn't. He has to go and ask on a physics forum about how they work. You won't find any of these sorts of comments on physics forums from me, Zanick. I do understand how reference frames work. Yeah, but you little fucktard bitch, you're just going to sit there on mute while you have it pointed out? Because all you can do is sit there in silence while we record and document just how big one of the globe head proponents actually is. How stupid you are. That's how stupid you are, Zanick. Tell me again how I don't understand reference frames. Maybe we'd like to get a few commenters going. The commenters who are clearly even more stupid than Zanick. People like Kosho. People Zanick educates with his complete stupidity that he only learnt last week in regards to reference frames. Come on, Zanick. Come off mute. Tell me I don't understand reference frames again. Yeah?
This is Milli Vanilli behavior, man. I had him right on point. Right down to a T.
Fraud. Liar. Charlatan. That's what the globe heads have got arguing for them. The globe needs frauds, liars, and charlatans to defend their rhetoric. Here, in the real world, at the trenches of the discussion, that's what you've got. Frauds, liars, and charlatans arguing for the globe. Not only are they frauds, charlatans, and liars like Zanick here, who literally hasn't got a single word to defend his heinous actions. No, he can't even defend this shit. Nothing he can do. Zero.
So these, looking at the date of some of these, 20th, 19th of June, we'd have to go back over the debates and see what was happening around that time and see whether Zanick was in there literally them days asking these, and that would just form lovely evidence against Zanick, because Zanick is a little weaselly worm. There's nothing wrong with going to these people and asking the answer, right? That's what we've had to do. What is wrong is asking them weaselly questions to try and get the answer that you want them to give, knowing damn well that you should be asking a straightforward question: is gravity a force? And they're going to come back with either yes or no. And then when they come back with no, then you've got to start changing it, haven't you? You're trying to make it into a force. And you know it can't cause anything because gravity doesn't do anything. It's an effect that we perceive based on what we think is happening up there. And you can't even define it. It's disgusting. But you'll do it anyway because you're just zealotard.
The guy's telling us that definitions are incorrect and his version of the definition is how it should be changed. He doesn't understand anything. He hasn't got the answers to any questions. He's having to go elsewhere to find out these answers. And it's just pretender clown muppet, zealot, liar, fundy, fraud. Like all of them. You know, there's a reason why Rumpus, who's just basically the same as Zanick, says things like air is not the atmosphere. Probably because he hadn't been to the physics forum that day to go and find his answer. That's why they come off as complete morons. That's why people like George Netanyahu will argue for there being no Coriolis deviation there to prove Earth spins. You know, if literally fighting against the rhetoric. A lot of these people are actually senile. You know, so far gone in their cognition as to be obviously perceived as senile. when they argue against their own rhetoric. You know, it's just, the senility is deep in many of these fundies, like George Netanyahu. You know, he'll lose an argument and then in his senile rage go after the man's job who's proven him wrong. You know, that's the kind of things we have. You know, Zanick, he's just a pretender clown. You know, he's just stupid. He doesn't understand how a reference frame works, doesn't understand how Coriolis works, doesn't understand the second law of thermodynamics and how gas wouldn't be able to exist next to a vacuum. He has to go and ask all these questions to other people smarter than him, or what he thinks is smarter than him. Clearly, he's completely stupid, because even the answers he gets to his highly leading questions aren't sufficient. He still has to come here and tell people that he needs to change definitions that he's had. That's how arrogant these people are. In the face of their religion being challenged and proven wrong, they think that they have the ordained right to change definitions. Even when the definition's coming from a PhD, like George Musa, he'll go out, Zanick, the pretender clown, fraud, liar, scumbag bastard, he'll go to a physics forum to try and find the answer that he wants, in the face of a PhD telling him that he's wrong, and then come here and tell us we're wrong. Sorry, go on.
And then he says he's the king. That's what he said yesterday. I'm the king. Nobody can
That
win.
he's what?
The king.
What do you say?
The king. The king.
King?
I quote him.
Of what?
I am the king.
Wow.
The king of
After
what?
being destroyed, he
king
goes
of-
out and says he's the king.
Delusional. Like I say, if you are in the trenches fighting the globe, you're either, like George Netanyahu, just a senile old fuck, or you're delusional like Zanick, who thinks he's the king. The king of what? Repeating something that you asked on a forum a day earlier. Is that what you think you're the king of, you pretender clown muppet? You're a fraud, Zanick. You're clearly mentally inferior to everybody who you are debating, and all you are capable of is parroting something that you have asked, a troubling question we have posed to you, your intellectual superiors. We've phrased a troubling question to you, and you need to go and ask those who you perceive to be more intelligent than yourself the question we have asked you, while you rant Discord rumpus and tell us that we don't understand the basic semantics of the argument we've put to you. That's what we've got to deal with as flat earthers. We've got to deal with thickos. Your average Joe Blogs thicko who thinks, I already know a monosphere because I was told so at school by someone perceived to be more intelligent. Just like Zanick's done. Yeah, I'm intelligent, I'm the king, because I can go to a physics forum and ask someone who I think is more intelligent than me. That makes me king. What an absolute retard. You're delusional, Zanick. You're going to defend any of this? You're still going to sit there on mute, or are you going to actually defend any of your pretender clown muppetry?
And it's like when they have their chance to go, it's like, nah, we're not going to do it. It happened today with Dawn. It happened yesterday with Virus. It's like, here's your opportunity. Go for it. Nothing. And when they do, it's hot garbage.
Yeah, they're only capable of rumpusing our cogent, well thought out, intellectually superior, cogent points. That's all that's a cum virus. Basically a complete retard. That's all he can do. When put on the spot and asked to actually qualify any of his positions, no. Same with Dawn. I can Discord rumpus really well. That's my lot in life. Cause a disruption when someone's making a coherent point, because that'll win me the argument, and then call you a liar, call you a cunt, and call you a fraud. Claim that everything you've ever said in regards to the subject you're talking about is a lie. Dawn's got 4 things that he's capable of. That's it. 5 if you include rumpusing. That's it. A 5-trick pony. Wow, these people are unbelievably retarded. And we are the ones claimed to not understand things. No, we're the ones putting the cogent arguments forward. The flat earthers are the ones thinking about where they live, asking pertinent questions. The Globers are going to bloody forums and asking an authority. That's what Zanick's doing. What bonehead? You should be ashamed of yourself, you unbelievable spastic.
And the greatest part, though, is that it's not going unnoticed by people. Like, people are sending me screenshots of shit. Like, I have a screenshot of Dawn saying that there's no proof of gravity. Typing that. but then will come in here and tell us that we're all liars for telling people that gravity doesn't exist. When I have a screenshot of him typing, there is no proof of gravity. So, guys, they're watching. We're watching you guys. We're listening, right? So you can keep going to your forums and go wherever you need to go to try to get some angle that you might be able to use when you come in here. But it's just a joke. You guys are done. Rest in peace, man.
The Earth is obviously and observably flat and stationary. And with that, I'll say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned in on the Nathan Oakley 1980 premiering stream 4. Hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this after show possible. Thank you to Discord for staying completely dumbfounded and silent in the face of their dumb fuckery. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!